I want to build AGI, but I got no money, so I'm left to reading other people's attempt to build AGI. Here we have a paper, AgentQ, a reasoning AI for learning web browsing. It's one of those AI papers that try to perform reinforcement learning to make LLMs into AI agents. Think of it like the second phase of applying RLHF again. To them, web browsing is a partially observable Markov decision process, which is all just a fancy way to say that you have a system where the true state isn't fully visible, you only get limited, noisy, or incomplete observations about it. More formally, let the system be a tuple of observation space, unobserved state space, action space, transition distribution, reward function, initial state distribution, and discount factor, where the observation space is what the LLM agent observes, things like commands from the user and the web browser screen. The action space is a collection of what the LLM agent is able to do, things like planning, reasoning, clicking, scrolling, and explaining why it did what it did, kinda like playing Counter-Strike 1.6. Transition distribution, which is just the dynamics of the web browser. Much like a goldfish, LLMs have a small context window which makes it impossible to store all the states of the browser. To store the history of what the agent saw and did, they only keep track of the current browser state. This sounds like a terrible idea to me, but according to them, they say that even though the only thing that they store is the environment action, the agent thoughts and explanation actions can be used as a compact history representation. I guess that kind of makes sense, but I didn't see how this could help in preserving fine-grained details. But hey, they wouldn't publish this paper if it doesn't work right. As for the RL part, they use direct preference optimization (DPO) to optimize the LLM policy model. AgentQ did slightly better than the average human in WebShot benchmark. Seems funny to me that a person can be called an expert in web browsing, but who am I to judge anyway? One huge problem with AgentQ is that it constantly picks the best matching item in the first web page of results and doesn't explore other pages. This is quote-unquote limited exploration. Einstein once said to me in a dream that insanity is about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different outcomes. Oftentimes you need a balance between exploration and exploitation, kinda like Minesweeper and Counter-Strike. They use Monte Carlo Tree Search with upper confidence bound 1 to guide the LLM to browse the web effectively. MCTS represents possible states as nodes in a tree, while the edges represent moves or actions leading to new states. Given how bad the open source vision models are, they use the GPT4o from OpenAI to give scores to the final outcomes of each trajectory. They then collect the good and bad trajectories to form a dataset to perform DPO on the LLM. If you repeat this algorithm for a few times, you will find yourself being the best web browsing expert in the world on OpenTable, surpassing GPT4o.